I think it was I played it on stage about 10 years ago, and it made a very deep impression on me. It's a play I think unquestionably always has resonance with the times we're in, and particularly now, I think, with so much uncertainty in the world, social upheaval, political upheaval, war, combat, and the constant tension between the nature of leadership and the voice of the people. And for me, it seemed to combine a continually resonant political thriller with a Greek tragedy at the center of it.
Rafe was unquestionably, I've worked with many fine directors, and he's up there in the top 5, no question, and quite near the top of that top 5. I think it's an astonishing debut of a director. I think his whole grasp of the story, the character, the vision of the film, every aspect of the film, every detail of the film was total. His rigor, his sense of discipline, and his performance as well was just, the whole package is remarkable. And I was completely overwhelmed by it, really. It was a gift of a role, and the Logan script, just because of the nuance of that script, makes it really very wonderful to play. And just the whole style of how we spoke the lines, and we didn't have to deal with the rhetoric. And Rafe was very strong about keeping the thing away. And also because he is an actor and such a great actor, he really understood all the pitfalls of the acting pitfalls. So, but that aside, the impressive thing was his grasp of the vision of the film, the actual movement of the film, the use of the camera, about lenses. I have to say, I was very gobsmacked by the whole thing.
Well, I went to Juilliard and I studied Shakespeare for 4 years, but since I got out of school, I didn't have the opportunity to revisit any of the plays. And when I heard that Rafe was going to direct this, to me, it's like taking a master class, and that's why I wanted to be involved. I mean, I knew by looking at the script, all of my scenes were going to be with either Rafe or Vanessa Redgrave. And when I saw the cast developing, it's just everyone they're the best of the best. They're the top of their craft. And I knew I would learn a lot from it. And working with an actor who's so sensitive and so has such subtlety and passion in what they're doing, and being directed by that, it can't help but inspire the best performance out of you.
Well, we're consummate professionals. We can make do in any situation. No, actually, the fight that we had, with Rafe, which to this day remains the closest thing to a homosexual experience that I've had. And it might be a career-changing scene for both of us. We had a good rehearsal period for that. Yeah,
we rehearsed that fight very, very exhaustively.
It doesn't really work, that statement, after I've just said what I've said. We really felt a need to rehearse that fight a lot and exhaustively. No, but that was an example of a. But but it's interesting because we had the stuntmen laid out a really interesting fight, which, to be honest, Rafe and I basically said, this is not it. It's just so much more about two guys that want to rip each other apart, which is what I think is so great. And in some ways, there's such complexity to this film, and in other ways, there's such simplicity. And that's what's great about John Logan's screenplay, is it's so cinematic, it's stripped down, and allows you to, really to feel the story, especially because it's Shakespeare. It feels incredibly accessible, and you feel very involved when you read it and when you watch it. And you, none more so than that moment when I think the two of us face off against each other and we said, forget the stunts, it's just two guys looking at each other so full of hate that they just want to eat each other's brains, and like rip each other apart. And we that's where we went from. That's how our that's how our rehearsal started, was how do we rip each other's eyes out.